the vibe, the real, the energy you gonna feel. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. Smooth and weak, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Yeah, na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Luciana.
Eliza Valdez and the rest of the Creamline Cool Snatchers had a little bit of a rude welcome to their All-Filipino Conference campaign the last time out. They start the conference at 0-1. While Cici Rondina and the rest of Choco Mucho, great debut for them, great comeback game for her, derailed the last time, are coming in at 1-1 in this sister act, this rivalry, which is going to play host to a packed SM Mall of Asia Arena. That's right. The Cool Smashers of Creamline, the Flying Titans of Choco Mucho, Bayside Volleyball. It is the main act for your Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. It doesn't feel like it, but it is here at the SM Mall of Asia. Thank you very much for watching us on One Sports, of course, on the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports Plus, wherever it is that you're watching, however you're watching. Boom Gonzalez, Neil Flores, who's still okay, I promise. Jana Ejido with us. Big game, Jana. Big venue, big matchup. What are you looking forward to?
Na magkalaban ang Sipons. I am ready for that. Parang kailan lang nag-SEA Games gold and hey, back to normal. We're in the PVL now. I'm interested to see all that competitiveness on the court here.
Speaking of back to normal, Neil, flying balls already to start the matchup. But, you know, this matchup between Choco Mucho and Creamline, at least the recent ones, Neil, have not felt like the original ones where at the finals where the intensity was, and not because of anything, but because injuries have hounded both these teams. These teams have new players, some new characters, and have come in healthy here in the All-Filipino Conference.
I agree with all of the player acquisitions and player movements. We are expecting this game to be more competitive compared to their previous outings against each other. And you know what? It's the rivalry in itself. It will be competitive for sure.
Kahit na ano pang team standings itong dalawa nito, kahit saan mo pa sila makikita, it will always be intense.
Creamline and Choco Mucho had different results in their opening game. Choco Mucho won against Sakari in 3 straight sets, then lost against Signal, and Creamline lost against PLDT. 2024 was the last time they lost on opening game day against the same team in the high-speed hitters. You can see the front runners right there in Signal, NextNet, and PLDT. 3 teams remain undefeated in the early goings of our team standings, and teams are just really trying their best to get as many wins as they can to get a leg up in the next round.
All right, just to update you, for those who missed the Signal winning in 4 sets earlier against the Farm Fresh Foxies, which explains why the team standings are where they are. Okay, let's talk about the record. Now, to be fair to Choco Mucho, Neil, this is a record that all teams probably have against them. It is always going to be lopsided, but it doesn't explain the intensity of this matchup.
We've had a lot of great games actually between these two teams.
Yes.
Choco Mucho got their first ever win against Creamline in that All-Filipino Conference in the semifinals. They were close in the finals by pushing Creamline to 5 sets, but the experience really was there for Creamline to close out those big games. But for Choco Mucho, they built their program from the ground up.
Yep.
They're already here, they're very competitive, and they're just trying their best to get back into that finals.
And recently, of course, Cici Rondina hasn't been part of that matchup as she concentrated on the Southeast Asian Games, as Jana Ejido mentioned. All right, one of the players coming back in the All-Filipino Conference, of course, is Gia de Guzman. We asked her, plug and play lang ba to, Gia, because of your skill, because of your IQ? She says, no, boo. I'm a system player, and it takes a while to get back to the system. Your thoughts, Neil?
Well, I also agree with Gia because the PVL 3 years ago was very different compared to the PVL 3 years. Now the systems have changed. The play has definitely improved also. So I think Gia is also starting to familiarize herself again dun sa setting natin in the PVL.
Well, Boom and Neil, it's just her second game since coming back to the PVL. And guess what? Classic rivalry ka agad. But Gia was talking to me about that loss against PLDT, losing it in straight sets, the opening game of the conference. And acknowledging that lots of members, apart from herself, are also coming back from all sorts of things. And for Gia, looking at it positively meant they have lots to improve, especially since it's very early in the conference. Tama kayo, 3 years since she last played in a Ribisco Bowl. I reminded her about that and she told me, huh, it's been 3 years? Well, how time flies, Gia. You know, by the looks of it here at the Mall of Asia Arena crowd, the crowd misses her so much, and Gia says she misses the crowd too.
She hasn't been playing, but she's always been watching, regardless of whether it's on TV or live in person. So we welcome her back to the rivalry while we welcome somebody new back in, or welcome back, or make that welcome into the rivalry in Eya Laure. Her third game here in the All-Filipino Conference as a Flying Titan.
She's in a similar situation na parang kay Gia. She also missed the PVL in the past year. So she's still trying to get her flow in the game. She has been the target in terms of reception, so that's something she's working on. But right now, Choco Mucho is just waiting for the explosion of Eya Laure in terms of attacking. It has been a quiet first 2 games for Eya Laure, 22 points for 2 games, but that's far from her standards. So I am sure that she is very thrilled to be playing against Creamline for the first time as a Flying Titan.
Well, I'm pretty excited to see how that outburst of Sleya could come out siguro in this rivalry. I don't know, who knows? But I spoke with her a while ago, and to that she really says it's going to take a lot of patience. Already 1 win and 1 loss is the record of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, and Eya says that adjustment period is still ongoing. In fact, it's really challenging her to lengthen that patience. I quote her say, pahabaan talaga ng pasensya, getting to know her teammates, getting to know their styles. But in a rivalry game like today, Eya tells me she's playing game as usual. She doesn't want to get any jitters out of the way, but she is excited for her first rivalry match. And you know, her journey here in Choco Mucho is well guided by one of the vets like Kat Tolentino, who is very excited to welcome several new members to Choco Mucho here at the PVL All-Filipino Conference. And let's hear some wisdom from her and what it's like to build this culture and identity with the team.
Hi, I'm Kat Tolentino, and this is Choco Mucho. I guess for this All-Filipino Conference, this new team has a new identity, and with all the new recruits and just all the movements that have been happening, we can expect a new type of Choco Mucho. I think it will be something new, and it will be something that brings change to this Choco Mucho team. I think the strength for Choco Mucho would be its Titan pride. Ever since I started back in 2019, it's always been a characteristic that Choco Mucho has carried. And no matter who comes in or what players are here, we're always expected to perform with a lot of confidence and a lot of pride, and just carry that name as best as we can. I think the team has changed a lot because of course, the new recruits that have been brought in. But since we weren't able to perform as good as we wanted to last conference, something that will push us for this upcoming conference so that we can be better. And I think the new recruits will also bring their own strengths to this team. Of course, I think Choco Mucho wants to prove that we can win the championship and that we can reach our final goal. And I know that as long as we continue to work hard and stick to that Titan pride, we'll get there.
Some beautiful words from one of the remaining OG Flying Titans, Kat Tolentino. Well, we are about ready to start this match, but of course we cannot forget about you, our dear viewers. And if you could answer the question over on the Pilipinas Live app, we are asking tonight, which returning star will make the biggest impact tonight? Will it be Creamline's Bernadette Pons or Gemma Galanza, or Choco Mucho's Cici Rondina or Eya Laure? I gotta say, that is a stacked set of options that we have there, but you can answer that right below the stream, and you can join the conversation online by using the hashtag PVL 2026.
That's a great thing about this rivalry, Jana and Neil. We're never going to run out of storylines. So let's get it going. First serve coming up on this match number 10, day 5. It is the Choco Mucho Flying Titans versus the Creamline Cool Smashers. Bayside Volleyball on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app.
In the game of volleyball, it comes down to how you shuffle. And when you draw the right card, fate will be in your hands.
Brooke just fires that one with some heat.
That was a fireball from Dana Belen.
Back to Galang, she has been on fire.
On point, Mika rin.
And Mika with a look back. Abante. Set, Erika Santos will put it away.
That's the run signal that's been waiting for.
Smart move by Aita Pontilla.
Dakis gets it back.
Oh, Gia, the toss, but it's a quick one.
The stakes are high. There's no time to fold, so suit up and play. This is the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference, the heart of volleyball.
PVL fans, welcome to the SM Mall of Asia Arena. This is the Premier Volleyball League 2026 All-Filipino Conference. Match number 10 of the preliminary round features the Creamline Cool Smashers and their opponents, the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Introducing the two referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Jocelyn Del Rosario, International Referee. Second referee, Fernando Velarde, National Referee. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Middle blocker number 6, Pangs Panaga. Setter number 12, Gia De Guzman. Middle blocker number 14, Bea De Leon. Opposite hitter number 18, Tots Carlos. Outside spiker number 19, Bernadette Pons. And outside hitter number 23, Gemma Galanza. Starting libero number 22, Jen Yerba. The head coach for Creamline is Sherwin Meneses. And now the starters for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Setter number 3, Tina Wong. Outside spiker number 8, Eya Laure. Opposite hitter number 10, Kat Tolentino. Middle blocker number 15, Jai Atienza. Another middle blocker number 17, Lorraine Pecaña. And outside spiker number 18, Sisi Rontina. Starting libero number 16, Tang Ponce. Head coach for Choco Mucho is Dante Alin Sunuri. This match is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Creamline versus Choco Mucho. This is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
It is day 5, match number 10. The starters of the Creamline Cool Smashers with, of course, their new recruit, Jennifer Nierva. And again, as we said, been a while since they've been complete. We know the story. Bea De Leon, Tots Carlos, Gemma Galanza all back in harness. The same with the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Good to see Kat Tolentino playing healthy. Dina Wong too. Din Santiago Manabat looked like she was okay.
First serve the match, Creamline serving, Sheila Tigisman.
Okay, she had, as I was saying, she was Din Santiago Manabat had a little bit of an issue the last time out against Signal, but she looks like she's good now. And of course, the additions of Eya Laure and the comeback of CC Rondina. A lot of elements to this story. And get ready and buckle up. 1-0, Choco Mucho. CC picking up from where she left off.
Both teams are coming from a loss, so this should be their bounce back game. There were similarities in those losses of Creamline and Choco Mucho. They were outblocked by their counterparts, so defense will be one of the keys to victory in this game.
Coach Dante Alinsunurin and former teammate Coach Sherwin Meneses. Both Adamson University and the national team back in the day. One of the things that I've noticed for Choco Mucho in their first 2 games, Neil, the involvement of the middle blockers way more than ever before. And this is without Manny Madayag there, but Pecaña and Atienza seem to be getting some balls from their setter, especially Dina Wong.
That's correct. Actually, given the attempts na makikita mo sa stat sheet, pinaka naging efficient si Lorraine Pecaña in the offense of Choco Mucho. Converted 12 out of the 19 attempts given to her by Dina Wong.
Oh, 2 service errors. Dina Wong and CC Rondina. Some nerves, some tightness, some adrenaline on this rivalry match, which, like I said in the pregame, the build-up to this one just seems a bit better than the last few ones because the cast is now pretty much complete, plus the new additions. This one drops in. Panaga always one of the better servers in the PVL.
Creamline will definitely use their serving as an advantage here in this game. The Signal Super Spikers scored 5 aces against Choco Mucho in their last game. So they did their homework. They're trying to identify those open spots, and they're also trying to avoid Tang Ponce.
Eya Laure and her first point. As you said, 22 points in 2 games. Evenly distributed, 11 and 11. Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan Pasalubong ng Bayan.
This might be her breakout game as a Flying Titans. Nasanay tayo sa 20-point output ni Eya Laure. She had 11 in the past 2 games.
I'm sure she would want that. The fans would want that. Hits the antenna, and that will be a point for, I believe, Creamline. Fernando Velarde, rather, says the antenna hit is off the block, which is correct there in the replay. It was through Kat Tolentino.
No challenge. Oh, there will be a challenge from Coach Dante Alinsunurin. We already saw the replay moments ago.
An antenna touch. There was an antenna touch, but correct me if I'm wrong, Neil, it is off the block, right? Okay, so maybe they did not see that. The captain, CC Rondina, was chatting with Fernando Velarde, so we will see. Great crowd today. Wonderful Tuesday turnout. So we saw the assistant coach bring out the block touch card, but on your screens it says the net fault challenge. But the point will officially go
Creamline gets the point.
All right, just based on that
Okay.
replay, the ball hit the tape of the net first before it hit the forearms of Kat Tolentino, and then after
goes
that was the time that the ball hit the antenna. So it will really be an unsuccessful challenge for Choco Mucho.
Pero nagkaroon ng mix-up dun sa senyasan kung anong challenge. Anyway, for all. Eya gets it back. But it's still alive. Kat will tip it. Nievra will set it. You know, Bernadette Pons was sorely missed, Neil, in the previous conferences.
I agree. I mean, the overload was visible in that first outing. And imagine this, she transitioned from beach to indoor once again.
Yeah.
So being able to put out impressive numbers across all skill categories just says a lot about Bernadette Pons. And I still stand by what I said before, that she is the best passer of this team. And yun yung na-miss ng Creamline in the previous conferences.
Still playable. That's a great fast and low set to Pons while Choco Mucho was scrambling. Let's look at that again. This is the scramble on the other end, and Gia recognized it. Look at how low that set was.
There's a huge gap between the blockers of Choco Mucho. And going back to the last game of Bernadette Pons, 11 out of 47 attacks, a block, a service ace, 11 digs, and 10 excellent receptions.
Yun talaga yung na-miss sila eh. 4-0 run for Creamline here. But let's also say that Choco Mucho missed a lot from CC Rondina too. Yung mag-partner, sabi nga ni Jana, magkalaban ngayon si Pons. Just from an offensive standpoint, Choco Mucho just really lacked firepower without CC. And this run will finally stop. How would the Choco Mucho fans feel if they get also their old Kat Tolentino back, Neil?
Well, she's been working hard in the off-season to get her form back. You can see na malayo na rin yung narating ni Kat from the time that she didn't play.
Yeah.
Right now, she's just trying her best to support CC Rondina in scoring. That wasn't a good pancake save from Tang Ponce. That point will be awarded to the Cool Smashers.
Which means we go to a technical timeout, 8-5.
Welcome back to the PVL All-Filipino Conference, where the Creamline Cool Smashers are leading the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. And I was talking about how I want to go back to how the matchup between CC Rondina and Bernadette Pons is an exciting thing of its own. Because I was able to speak with Bernadette Pons a while ago and asked her how bagging that SEA Games gold, you wonder how a duo that's enjoyed great success reverts back to being opponents. And Bernadette says she prefers it this way, being opponents than teammates. I even quote her say, "Sa tagal na naming magkasama, gusto ko rin na magkaharap kami." Bernadette adds that it's CC's competitiveness that challenges her to push and be better on her own. Well, Boom and Neil, it's only set one, but the action from si Pons has been all over the floor. I wonder how this pans out as the game goes on.
First of all, maraming salamat kay CC at Bernadette Pons for their representation. And that gold medal, that historic gold medal for the Philippines, the Southeast Asian Games. As Gemma Galanza scores her first point. Alam mo, just to put a capper on that, ang laking sakripisyo ng ginawa ng dalawa They dedicated themselves. They miss, obviously, indoor volleyball, but they really were so focused on getting that gold for the Philippines.
And up to this point, you can see CC Rondina still trying to adjust, especially in reception, because unang-una, magkaiba yung bola ng beach volleyball and indoor. So there's a different parang approach to handling that first pass. And ang hindi nawala sa kanya is yung elevation niya, of course.
Alam mo,
He still jumps super high.
I was just thinking about that last week. You know how some players, every year you see them lose a little bit. There's a little bit of slippage, if you may, in terms of the game, the skill, athleticism, as a foot fault will be called on Atienza there. But kay CC, it's still like watching the UST elevation that we've so gotten accustomed to. Parang spoiled na nga tayo dito.
She's just so athletic. That's why it's always a joy to watch her. And I agree with what you said earlier. Ang laki ng na-miss ng Choco Mucho. The 20 points per game average of CC Rondina helped them reach the finals in the previous conferences. They want to bring that back. They were able to recruit Eya Laure. They won that sweepstakes. But now, they have to focus on reception.
Kasi tina-target yung likod nila. Long balls, line balls is what Creamline is going for. Timeout, Coach Dan.
Expect na tayo mag-focus sa gagawin natin, ha? Nakakapasa tayo, nakaka-offense tayo. Problema, nagpapabaya tayo sa mga ganung bola. Okay? Balik na tayo. Subukan natin lagi dito para mag-isolation tayo. Meron tayong bola dito, pero meron din dito. Okay, agad pare. Then, advantage sa harapan. Ha?
Go, Tess.
Taas ang bola.
Tess tayo, Vincent! Go! Hey, Choco Mucho!
Silent pride!
Coach Dante has to stop the bleeding. The lead is 4 again, 11-7. Reception problems. Obviously, tina-target talaga si Eya Laure sa atin dito sa Choco Mucho. She knows it. Everybody knows it.
As a team, you do want to be in system all the time, but in the past 2 games of Choco Mucho, there were moments na tumatagal sila sa rotation because they were out of system. And in that timeout, you heard the favorite word of Coach Dante, isolation. So he really wants Dina Wong to identify her advantage in the front row to split the blockers. Lorraine Pecaña should be a good option for offense, picking up after that game 12 points nga out of 19 attempts.
Chance to counter here. CC runway. Panaga keeps it up. Soft block. Kat on an ad-lib. Tots will try again. Goes long. Ponce was there. Wong up to CC. Good reaction by Choco Mucho to keep that playable. Wong stutters. That's too low for CC. Medyo natisod din kasi si Dina doon. Long rally alert. Kat trying to finish it off with a swipe. No. Back to CC. Sinungkit. Eya from behind. And a chance to counter here for Creamline. And it is Gemma Galanza finishing up the long rally.
Choco Mucho had a lot of chances to attack the defense of Creamline, but they couldn't get the right set play in the previous sequence. And you have Gemma Galanza, a powerful hitter, hitting from the right side.
Speaking of na-miss, isa pang na-miss nila obviously with her injury. Gemma Galanza, her foot injury. They continue to go to Eya. Kat is denied entry, and this is the biggest lead of the match at 13-8.
Great timing from Pangs Panaga. That's the downside of a receive na hindi umaabot perfectly dun sa setter's box. It's easier for Pangs Panaga to chase after that ball from the left or from the right because she already knows kung ano yung tendency ng Choco Mucho.
Yun na naman. That's a touch.
Great swing there, out of system play for CC Rondina, getting a check ball on Pangs Panaga.
You know, these attackers, they know CC, Eliza, alam nila yan, Eya, lagi silang inaatake sa mga receive nila. And this is the 3rd service error for Choco. That will be the 2nd for CC Rondina. So, They're giving away points here. Fourth service error. Let me correct myself. So that's 4 of the 5-point lead, Neil. When they get the perfect set, the ANCC usually deliver. And Ponce was perfect in that sequence.
They were in system. Dina Wong was able to get that delay from the double block of the Cool Smashers. And yun naman talaga yung game plan ever since pumasok si Coach Dante sa Choco Mucho.
That's a long ball, and it's out. No touch. 2 straight points. Marine Picaña having a wonderful start to the All-Filipino Conference so far. In the absence of Maddie. And another long ball by Bernadette Ponce this time. 4 points.
No easy ball from the Cool Smashers. Set was way off the net. Bernadette Ponce found that opening in zone 6.
Just so smart. Here's another player that they're waiting, the Creamline fans, to get back into 100% form. Tots Carlos. Now we know how explosive she can be in peak form. What a set. Oh, but what a read by Gia.
Gia Atienza was able to get the commitment of the middle blocker of Creamline, but that was a well-timed block by Gia de Guzman against Eya Laure.
1-on-1, 16-11 Creamline. Back inside the SM Mall of Asia Arena, as we see Mr. Jonathan Nang, as usual, neutral. Sunny Villapando, who shined in her SEA Games debut beach volleyball, is here in attendance, of course, following Cici Rondina, Bernadette Ponce. What a job for them. In that SEA Games campaign. All right, back to the action here. Same play. Ponce. CC digging. Eya skying, swiping. Naiset pa. Wong shuffling. Back to Eya. Mas mabilis.
That's how she likes it. Every time she gets a chance to attack, she talks to Dina Wong at sinasabi niya talaga specifically that she wants that low pass set in transition.
Especially now that she seems to be just lighter and more agile than ever, Neil, the way she looks.
Here comes the double sub of Choco Mucho, Dindin Santiago Manabat alongside Alina Picar.
Good to see Dindin okay. Tots with a push. Picar goes back to her old running mate. Ginawa ng paraan. And then Atienza putting it away. Will it be challenged by Creamline? Looks like it won't be. Oh, they will be. Reaching beyond the net, I suppose, will be the challenge here for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
It's going to be a close call.
0-1, losing to a sharp and focused PLDT high-speed hitters the last time out, Neil. And that's what championship experience can do, a run to multiple championships as we see this replay.
The ball was already on its way to the court of Choco Mucho, so that was a valid kill from Jaya Atienza.
Just to finish my point on that PLDT run, kita mo na talaga yung aura, the swagger, the confidence coming in, that they're not phased anymore by any opponent.
Kasi bakit? Okay lang, kasi ito, yung middle lang susukatin natin eh. Middle, di ba? Kaya ni Bea, kaya ni Ponce yan. So, pwede lang natin to receive dito. Gitna dito. Para si Eya eliminate na agad. 2 on 2 lang kayo. Okay, let's go.
One, Creamline! Love it when we hear, like, tactical timeouts kneel from our coaches.
And they want to eliminate nga daw Eya Laure. But talking about the middle blockers of Creamline, I felt like they were underutilized in that opening loss against the high-speed hitters. Pang Panaga only had 2 points. That was surprising. Bea de Leon had 5.
Bicar, 2 straight points by Choco Mucho. Goes for the long service. Look at that aggressive run to the net. The approach by Bernadette Pons.
They were able to follow the game plan of Coach Sherwin. Bea de Leon got the delay on Jaya Tienza. Bernadette Pons having that impressive court sense, already knew which zone to target.
Kanina pa, no? Look at that serve. Oh boy, low and loaded. Between CC and Ponce.
I don't know how other teams do it, but generally we play right to avoid confusion.
Niera with a dig. The dive by CC, back to Eya. No coverage. Ponce is asking for help.
Creamline was also outblocked by PLDT in their last game, but now they're putting up big defensive stops against the attackers of Choco Mucho. Gia de Guzman with her second kill block against Eya Laure.
Timeout, Choco Mucho.
Mahirap papalin lang talaga gagawin dyan. Okay, active. Every time na may papalo, sundan natin. Huwag ka lang magpadali hanggat maaari kung gano'n off ka. Malapit, mas maganda. Mas maganda. Nagtumid ka, pero tayo ng bola, dapat mag-defense. Hindi naman siya naghahabol.
Choco Mucho!
So after the timeout by Coach Sherwin, that tactical timeout, they scored 3 points from that. It was 16-13. So now biggest lead of the set is at 6. That's 19-13. 3 blocks by Creamline so far, 2 of them belonging to the setter.
Coverage was one of the points in that timeout of Coach Dante, but at the same time, now is the time for the setters to actually try to utilize the middles in Lorraine Pecaña and Jaya Tienza. Because right now, the blockers are just present every single time against the wings of Choco Mucho. They're not even chasing after the ball. They're well established. They're getting the timing right. Kaya bumabalik yung bola sa floor ng Choco Mucho.
Watch out for Gemma Galanza here. I saw Gia signaling about the net defense of Choco Mucho. And the scissor play here, tinarget talaga si Dindin nung nakita ni Gia.
Very smart hit for Gemma Galanza. She knows that she's up against a very tall blocker in Dindin Santiago Manabat. So she will find those hands and try to get it out of bounds.
Good dig by her partner. Counter attack. Off the rebound. Reverse set to Dindin. Bea with a pickup. Galanza on the attack. Denied!
No entry, says Dindin Santiago Manabat. It's a big defensive stop for Choco Mucho.
That's one of the things that they missed from Bernadette Pons, really. She makes it look so easy, this all-around game of hers. What a short serve. Bicar has to ad-lib here. Back to CC. Adjusting. He will not be denied.
CC Rondina saving the day for Choco Mucho. Here comes the counter run of the Flying Titans.
20 points and 16 points in the 2 games of Choco Mucho. Sorry, 20 points and 18 points. Picar with a dive. Joust at the net. Good reaction by Choco Mucho here. The play is still alive. But this is where Creamline thrives. These chaotic-looking exchanges.
And you will never know kung saan pupunta si Gia de Guzman when they're in system. Sets are always unpredictable.
Sorry, again, let me correct myself. 20 and 16 si CC Rondina. The self-cover by Tots Carlos, disrupting the timing of Gia de Guzman. And CC Rondina continues to score 6 points. She's averaging 18 so far in the conference.
That's it for the double substitution of Coach Dante. Dina Wong will now serve for the Flying Titans, and Kat Tolentino will rotate to the front line to give Choco Mucho 3 attackers.
Tots. What a slide by Ponce. Counter-attack here. The dig by Denden. But the reaction by Kat. They stay in play here. 18 will be serving 21.
Great exchange from these two teams. Look at Tang Ponce diving for that ball, and here's another dig from Denise Lazaro Revilla. It's an overpass, so it's an easy point for Choco Mucho.
Dig by Eya. Counter-attack with CC, who is read by the double block.
They have her number.
They know.
Third point for Pangs Panaga.
You know that heavy percentage will go to CC. 22 serving 18. Michelle Gumabao is in. Yes, we haven't even talked about her yet. She made the adjustment, Neil, as she was talking to the assistant coaches on the previous swing. What was the adjustment there in your eyes?
Well, I think
angle ba?
Angles, isa yan sa mga bagay. Timing is also another. You always have to check the tendencies of your attackers para at least alam mo kung ano yung isasara mo, ano yung ibubukas mo for the defender in the back row. Right now, most of the points have been coming from the wings of Choco Mucho, CC Rondina, Eya Laure. It has been working though.
Ito yung hindi mo maka-quantify. Yung kombinasyon ng Rondina and Laure na palaban. They're not giving up. Down 6. They're now down only by 2.
Gumanyan ka lang. Gumanyan ka lang. Hey, quick. Sino to? Kung saan lang na mapalo yung bola. MJ, dito ka na. Good yun. Basta mapalo yung bola. Then, pag nasa kanila, relax lang. Nasa kanila yung bola, relax lang.
Let's go!
One, Creamline! 7-3 Choco Mucho run to get them in play here, down to serving 20-22.
That was a great counter run by the Flying Titans. They made some mistakes in the service line. Yeah, umabante yung Creamline, but they also worked hard. And they're exclusively going to the left pin. So what they can do is to keep on covering their outside hitters to give them more chances to convert.
Good reaction by Pecanya. But a chance here for Creamline. Up to Ponce making her adjustment. So does Eya. It's in. Oh, here they come. These are the intangibles that they bring. Neil?
Momentum is clearly with Choco Mucho now.
Look at that top spin. That top spin guiding that ball back down to the line. Lead is 1. Oh, beautiful setup by Gia de Guzman.
Money play right there for the Cool Smashers. An unexpected quick hit because Gia was still chasing after that ball. She wasn't even established before she released that toss papunta kay Tank Panaga.
That's crazy, Neil.
That is just pure control from the veteran setter. But now, Choco Mucho will have a chance to attack the defense of Creamline.
Short serve by Eliza Valdez, just in case you missed that reaction from the crowd. But Eya Laure is starting to rack up points now. 7 here in the game.
Defensive substitution for Coach Dante. Des Cheng, the team captain, will check in for Lorraine Pecaña.
That's the serve and sweep.
92 serving 23, serving team captain Des Cheng.
Just the way the fans like it. 22 serving 23. Pons misreceiving. She gets it back. But a smart hit on a hit out. Set points.
Is the leading scorer for the Cool Smashers with 8 points already. Now, it is also going to be a blocking substitution for Creamline. Lori Bernardo will replace Gia de Guzman. It's a one rotation thing.
Yes. 2 set points. Good first ball there. That's a great changeup by Dina Wong. That is gutsy, Neil.
That was a calculated risk, I would say, from Dina Wong. People have been expecting.
Pero maganda rin yung receive din, no?
Maganda, maganda rin. In-system din sila, so that was also a good option. Yun yung magiging dilemma lagi eh. Susugal ba ako or will I go to my best scorer?
Cici was there. Eya ties it all up to the delight of the Choco Mucho fans.
Welcome to the Eya Laure show.
Ayun na.
She now has 8 points, surpassing the output of CC Rondina.
Ayun na yung nakakunot na yung noo ni Eya Laure.
Business mode.
The familiar look of determination from the Slayer. Still playable. And they take the lead and the set point. Remember, they were down 6 here in this set, Neil.
Now with 9 points, almost in double digits. This is the golden opportunity for Choco Mucho to come back from behind.
Sabi ni Coach Dante, laro lang. And this is where they are now. Gia chooses Pons. Reverse to Tots. What a smart play by Tots Carlos. Just the right off speed there.
Now that was a wasted opportunity for the Flying Titans. It was practically a free ball. It was a spin ball from Tots Carlos from the back row, but there was confusion on the defensive end from the Flying Titans. So now we're all tied up at 25.
Change of base ni Tots. So both teams saving set points. What a slide by Nierva. Laure. Coverage. Back to Eya. Galanza. Laure again. Checked at the border. Look at this crowd.
That's another kill block for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Chaos, Neil, in these exchanges.
Creamline was asking for a lifting violation. But again, habang walang pito yung referee, you have to keep on playing because the challenge system is in place.
Right. Another set point. First set pa lamang to. And this time, Creamline delivers.
What a fitting end to set number 1. Back-to-back kill blocks for the Creamline Cool Smashers to stop the run of Choco Mucho. And that was Again, Gia de Guzman getting that block against Eya Laure. So that's 3 kill blocks for the setter, the main setter of Creamline.
3 of the 4 points from the comebacking Gia de Guzman.
You're still watching the All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League. The Creamline Cool Smashers just won set number 1 in a close fashion, 27-25, with back-to-back defensive stops against the top scorer of the Flying Titans in Eya Laure. Creamline had their moment. They had a lot of quick attacks in set number 1, orchestrated by Gia de Guzman. Choco Mucho made that counter run, but in the end, it was defense that won it for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Bernadette Pons continues to have an all-around game in our All-Filipino Conference. She put up numbers across all skill set categories. When it comes to attacking, Choco Mucho actually had a higher efficiency rate, 34% compared to the 28% of Creamline, but it was really the blocking of the Cool Smashers that kept them afloat in set number 1. Was an exciting set number 1, and we're ready for the second set. How will Choco Mucho adjust their game plan in set number 2 to equalize?
You know, we did mention at the start of the game, Neil, that this rivalry is back. First set was proof of that, as we see the leading scorers, the newcomer and the comebacking player, 9 and 8 for Laure and Pons, respectively. 6-point deficit by Choco Mucho. They make a comeback. They get the crowd really going. But Creamline hanging tough.
Mix de Guzman and Miko Isogay, former teammate of Gia in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
Erebis.
Cool.
Joining us here
Well,
in the
she's
Arena.
well, Gia showing off right now. Making sure that seeing the blocking capabilities this time, not just the setting capabilities of Gia de Guzman. The rest of the Creamline Cool Smashers trying to get their first win in the All-Filipino Conference. Choco Mucho also trying to bounce back, trying to go to 2-1. Got some real good vets also here in this matchup. Stepping up, Panaga was so good. Pons, of course, we mentioned. And here we go, set number 2. Boom Gonzalez, Neil Flores, Jana Ejido is with us. Thank you for watching us on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and all over the world via the Pilipinas Live app. Set number 2 at the Mall of Asia Arena. Kat. That's still good. Smart play by Dina. But Creamline recovering so well. Chance again for Gemma. That's too low for her. First point going to Choco Mucho. Signal, by the way, winning in 4 sets earlier against the Farm Fresh Foxies. They are at 3-0 here in the All-Filipino Conference.
That's a great start for the Super Spikers. Definitely one of our front runners and contenders
that change of pace that they're playing with right now, Neil, serving them well.
And they're also one of the teams that really banked on familiarity.
Correct.
Only one new acquisition for them.
Right. Then went to Japan for their training camp, and it's and in this format, di ba? Importante itong mga naka 3-0.
You don't want to be in that play-in
scenario.
Pocket of the tournament.
Top 4, of course. Then top 2. That's a good read this time by Pecaña.
Point for Lorraine Pecaña.
Kat Tolentino also putting up a wall there.
Better start for Choco Mucho.
Naiwanan sila kanina kasi, ano?
Masyadong madami yung service errors na nabigay yung Choco Mucho
Yeah.
nung set number 1.
Good coverage by Tolentino, reading that one. Eya, sent back by Panaga. Kat. Oh, wow. That is the best swing we've seen from Kat Tolentino so far, maybe in the conference.
That's the power that we want to see in those Kat Tolentino hits.
Spike on the set, brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan, drilling that through. 4-0, Choco Mucho.
Para bumuka yung dalawang blocker pag mag-dress. Okay, let's go. Isa lang, 1 point.
Let's go! One Creamline!
Let's go to Jana Ejido right now for this report. Jana?
Well, Boom and Neil, it has to be said because that set number 1 a while ago just proves why this rivalry will always be a classic. That even some players look forward to having it. One of those being Cici Rondina, who is truly back as the offensive machine that Choco Mucho knows her to be. While she's had a couple eventful months off the league, she's coming back wishing for consistency to be the team's friend here in the All-Filipino Conference. For her, the team's inconsistencies have been the bane of their campaigns, and Cici wants this tournament to hopefully be different this time. Consistent not just in her performance, but in her teammates as well, that all these may translate to results. Now with Choco Mucho putting up a solid fight in that opening set, let's see what set 2 brings here, Bumini.
And so far, so good for them, Jana, at 6-0. CC, your report. You know, the wonderful part about this, Neil, is that there's so many personalities here na ang tataas ng competitive drive, no?
That is correct. Hindi lang basta-basta magpapatalo yung Choco Mucho. This is one of their best starts in a set. 6-0 run against the Cool Smashers. And now they're getting their numbers from the blocking department in set number 1. Creamline had more. In this set so far, Choco Mucho has more. But there is a check ball called by the first referee. So that will be the first point for the Cool Smashers.
Hindi naman umangal ang Choco Mucho, so they give that one away. And sometimes you talk about all of these competitive drives, the competitiveness of all these players, and you wonder so what? But the answer there is sometimes yung kasi ayaw magpatalo, the effort of an extra ball, an extra swing, an extra touch on that one. As Panaga looking to distract the Choco Mucho players at the net. They're going to challenge this, Choco Mucho will. What did you see anything in real time, Neil?
This is where jump sets come into play. If you really want to get a clear violation, it's important for you to chase that ball, get your platform right, and go for a jump set. Dahil pag unang nahawakan ng setter yung bola, compared to the middle blocker or any other attacker from the other side of the net, automatic. That is going to be an illegal attack or reaching beyond the net violation.
Great point. Which, by the way, Tina Wong isn't. She's not much of a jump setter.
That is going to be successful. It was very clear that the ball was still in the airspace of Choco Mucho. Dinukot for that dump.
To be fair, these are really tough calls to make in real time with the speed, the intensity, the crowd, and all of that. So that's why it is great to have that challenge system. 7-1. Counter. Swing to the backside.
Second point, yep, for Michelle Gumabao.
Off the bench, speaking of players who have that competitive edge, I asked her recently, is she tired of winning? She says, no, it's just she gets obsessed to it, trying to win and compete, even in practice. It's addicting, winning championships. Something that Choco Mucho is trying to chase.
That's officially the 10th point of Eya Laure. First technical timeout. Choco Mucho up by 6. Pilot Cheska Karandang also enjoying the action here. I know that she's supporting Choco Mucho.
It's the place to be, the SM Mall of Asia Arena on a Tuesday evening. We welcome you to our live and exclusive coverage. Choco Mucho lording it over Creamline here by 6 in early though in the second set. Wow. These parang linalagay lang sa harap ng mga middle blocker kay Panaga, kay Bea De Leon. These are the things really that you miss from the Gia setting, Neil.
The middles would also say na when you get Gia de Guzman as a setter, tas middle blocker ka, kailangan mo na lang tumalon at the right time and to go for that swing. Saktong-sakto na yan sa kamay mo.
Whether it's a zero tempo one or just a little over that. At this time though, Kat Tolentino with the answer. Kat Tolentino also coming alive with 4 points, 3 in this set. Serving is way better for Choco Mucho here. Ooh, right in between, heavy-handed Mitch Gumabao. 3 points off the bench.
I love the intentional substitution of Coach Sherwin Meneses in this game. Michelle Gumabao is now helping the Cool Smashers erase this lead. They're still down by 5.
Misreceive.
Service ace, Bernadette,
The linesman was in the way of Eya Laure. He apologizes. He's in Asadja.
Yerba has been on point on these cross courts to her. Eya's asking for it again, but Chai is the one who gets it. Make that 3 points for Chai.
Huge gap there between Gemma Galanza and Bea De Leon. There have been a lot of instances na intentionally iniiwan ng Creamline yung middles ng Choco Mucho because 80% of the time sa kaliwa naman pumupunta, but they still need to keep their antennas up.
There it is again. BDL swinging away with her 3rd point.
This is the distribution that they missed in their last game. Only 2 players finished with double digits. And we're used to seeing Creamline finish the game with what, 4 players or even 5 players in double digits.
When healthy, you know, when with a full complement of players, you're right. That will be out. Is there a challenge? The challenge will be ball in, ball out. This is day number 5, match 10 so far. Good start to the All-Filipino Conference. We played in San Juan, obviously, in Montalban, and now here in Pasay. That is
It's way out.
definitely out. Gap is down to 3 here. Serving 10. Saw that one coming. Gemma going to the middle. CC. Ponce sends it back. Gia will leave it for Panagag. But a touch at the net by a Choco Mucho player. Cuts that lead down to 2, and Coach Dante will sue for time.
Natin. Side out, wala na naman yung side out natin. Nakakapasa tayo, pero yung intensity natin, gusto natin kung pamatay, nawawala na naman. Kaya ka magmadali. Magpapasadali, ha? Okay, ganun lang ulit. Guys, pilitin natin dito lagi, ha? Main spacing tayo. Nagagawa lang parang dito kung ano gagawin, ha? Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Choco Mucho!
Biggest lead was 6. Down to 2 here. We were at 7-1, 8-2 earlier. These two teams not lacking firepower, so it's not impossible for them to really just come up with comebacks. PVL. Back to Eya. Back to CC. One more. That's just absolute skill and will on the part of CC. Alam na lahat eh. Gemma and Panaga, you know, not even, they're just shading that left side, but CC's still able to come up with some block breakers every now and then.
When you're up against CC Rondina, you really have to get the timing right. Kasi malate ka lang ng konti, yung power nung bola ni CC, talagang masisira yung blocking system.
Good patience by Wong. Whoop. Good redirection by Pecanya.
Back to a 4-point lead for the Flying Titans.
Gia looking at the defense. So let's see who they're going to choose on the attack here. Short serve. What a pull. Wong shoving Pecanya. Gia sends it to the corner. Eya was there. CC will try again. Gemma, that's long. No touch.
Ball out.
Too strong for Gemma Galanza. There will be block touch challenge though from Coach Sherwin Meneses.
Yeah, Gemma thought there was a scratch on that ball. So it's a good kind of semi-timeout here, especially because this is 3 straight points by Choco Mucho if it is an unsuccessful challenge. First set went to Creamline. That was 27-25 after an exchange of set points. Yep, over.
It's over the block of Dina Wong and Lorraine Pecanya.
So 3-0 counter run after the Dante Alipsunurin timeout. 13-8. Eliza will come back here for Gemma. Short serve again. That's It's definitely in.
Instant impact for the Cool Smashers. Liza Valdez on her first attempt in the front line. That's a break point.
9 serving 13. Good first ball there. Pecaña scratching the ball. Valdez. Tolentino stopping that one. CC on the rise is out and wide.
She had the right intention. The double block closed off the angle for CC Rondina. She wanted to go line. Nasobrahan lang yung cut.
It's a great set by Wong to Pecaña. Coach Dante with a smile. Look at that.
He's happy. I mean, you don't need to get a lot of numbers from your middles, but the fact that they're intentionally scoring from that point.
Confusion on that second ball. Wong with a dig. Eya will ad-lib and still score.
Not the play we expected from the Flying Titans. But Eya Laure was the nearest attacker kay Kat Tolentino. So that pipe attack was their only option.
That's why you get players like her. Off the rebound. Wong. Mababa ng konti at may sumabit. Tangs admitting. So the lead back to 6 here at 16-10.
Second technical timeout, 16 for Choco Mucho, 10 for Creamline.
Great crowd for the first game. Great crowd for the second game on a Tuesday evening. A little over 11,000 in attendance here. That is the eye test. When you listen, when you do the ear test, definitely doesn't sound like 11. Just the way fans have been shrieking at the exchanges here between Choco Mucho and Creamline.
Still serving.
Look at that crowd. Liza. Ponce so disappointed with herself.
She was in the proper position for the pickup, but the hit was just too strong.
Spike of the set brought to you by Dunkin'. Pasalubong ng bayan. And she gets to serve. Can bet that will go the direction of Eya. Ponce helping her out. Two giveaways by Choco Mucho.
When Choco Mucho struggles in the receiving department, doon nakakaabante yung Creamline. Right now, it's Liza Valdez on the serve, so they need to get her out of that service line.
Boy, some extra heat on that ball. And even in slow-mo, it's going to go by fast.
Knowing that Lina Wong is going to go to that left pin is one thing, but executing the double block against CC Rondina is another thing that needs to be discussed.
Yung double block at saka yung abang sa cross.
Kasi alam ng Creamline na dun pupunta, but it's still different. Great coverage from Tang Ponce.
Counter-attack here. What an angle by Bernadette Pons. A high IQ play.
That's just a beach volleyball move.
Yes.
From Bernadette Pons.
3-1 run. Angle. 13 serving 17 with Panaga serving. This time it's too long. But you know she was going to go long. Pekanya will serve. So much confetti is coming down. Somebody's ready to celebrate here. 18 serving 13. Second set action. That's out.
Lead us back to 6. Choco Mucho, they're looking good there in set number 2, looking to equalize. Now we're set scores.
Recovering just in time. Pekanya with her little hop, her little bunny hop with that serve. Sends it to the net. First service error in a while, Neil, for them.
Toss was too low for Lorraine Pekanya. In serving, it really starts with a toss. Need to have a high toss to get that clearance over the net. Tots Carlos is back for the Cool Smashers.
Speaking of high toss, that's going to be really high for the jump serve for Tots. Good first ball. What a set there by Dina Wong.
One of the few moments that she goes for a jump set, and it was a reverse set at that.
Look at hiwalay yun. Naguluhan si Bea talaga dun sa depensa sa net.
Advantage talaga lagi if you are a jump setter, if you would put it that way.
Ponce. Laure. Dug by Valdez. Ponce again. That wrist action.
She's just so intentional with her angles. And in Filipino, ang likot ng kamay ni Bernadette
Sila
Pons.
ni Gemma, di ba, Neil? Malikot na itatago pa nila yung kamay nila. So, ang hirap talaga basahin.
Substitution this time for Creamline. A middle blocker substitution. Sheena Turing is in for the first time.
For Bea De Leon. Off speed. Eliza. She knew where she was going to go. They're not out of it yet. They're down 4 only.
Substitutions have been working for the Cool Smashers. Those are the in-game adjustments na ginagawa ni Coach Sherwin Meneses. Now they're just down by 4.
Guys, importante yung mataas yung bola ha para managsin mo na maayos. Sigurado yan, ha? Ay, ngayon rito. Let's go.
Let's go! Choco Mucho! Right and right!
If I'm not mistaken, that will already be the second timeout of Coach Dante here. So, 16 will be serving 20 here. Eliza Valdez, Sheena Turing.
Still serving Bernadette Pons.
Bernadette Pons continues to serve. Pons with 11 points, 9 off attacks. Nahuli si Sheena.
Eya Laure.
Good set by Bicar.
Same substitution for Choco Mucho. Des Cheng will come in for Eya Laure.
And Valdez will, Turing will move out for BDL. Another one of those players who obviously went down to injury. Des Cheng. Good read by Jai. Not that time, says Atienza.
4 points for Jai Atienza, one-on-one against BDL. That's why it's important to shadow or mark the person in front of you to be able to get the proper timing in blocking.
Yun, di ba? Huwag kayong tumigil. I-receive, trabaho nyo. Sinet, tinalo, ano na ulit yung trabaho. Hindi pwede, isa lang. Ha? Okay, balik tayo doon. Save mo lang. Go, go.
Yung translation dyan, Coach Neil, sa mga ibang coach yung si Ibyang.
Ivy Laxina from the Atari Chargers, also here in MOA.
Speaking of getting healthy, another girl who was indisposed for a very long time. I was gonna translate what Coach Sherwin was saying. You know how sometimes mga players, they're caught ball watching sa depensa, especially sa mga coverage.
And yung reaction time yung napaka-importante in this sport, especially when you're covering your teammate.
Sarap kasi panoorin ng mga ibang pumapalo dito, Neil. Mababa para kay Eliza. She knew it too. Contact point.
Difficult set to hit as well.
Yeah.
Ball was coming from the back row.
I mean, if I were Tang Ponce and I'm looking at, guys like Cici Rondina flying, I'm sure Tang, of course, is so used to it already, but just graceful.
Oh!
Look at that! Oh, nagigil!
Sayang.
Great idea, though, on the second ball. What a touch by Ponce there. Look at this.
We were talking about the reaction time, yung mga ganyang sungkit-sungkit.
(23-17). One-hand set. What an adjustment by Jai Atienza using the left hand to get them to 7 set points and try to equalize this match. Ganda na. Adjustment. Parang vent move yung ginawa ni Jai dun.
Using
Credit to
her
her.
offhand to save that ball. Set was definitely high for her.
She's been targeting that middle on her serve. And the middle blockers of Coach Dante Alinsunurin have responded to the challenge. 11 points between the two of them. Neil.
And look at that last play from Choco Mucho. The blockers were already compressed, so it wasn't a good idea to actually go for that combination play. But now we're equalized. One set apiece.
The way the fans scripted this one. 1-1.
Here we go, and now slingshot coming
watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference, the heart of volleyball, second game of our Tuesday doubleheader. 27-25 for the Cool Smashers in that exciting finish of the first set. And then a lopsided second set, which really goes back to how this second set started. And the Choco Mucho building a cushion which they were able to protect all the way till the end.
You know what's the most surprising thing about the stats in set number 1, set number 2? Creamline can't seem to match the attacking output of the Flying Titans. I mean, 20 attack points in set number 1 for Choco Mucho, only 13 for the Cool Smashers. We have yet to see the stats from the second set. But we're used to seeing Creamline always on top in that department.
Yes.
And even in the second set, mas mataas pa din yung efficiency ng Choco Mucho, 30% compared to the 26%. It's the same trend in set number 2. Choco Mucho was able to score more in attacking compared to Creamline, and they were able to get the numbers in the blocking category. So the middle blockers are doing their jobs. They're focusing on blocking, they're focusing on defense, and they're letting Eya Laure and CC Rondina score bulk of the points for their squad.
They limited their serving errors also earlier from that first set. Actually, parang nangyari rin, Neil, when they looked down and out in that first set, down 6, they had a run, di ba? They had a run. They obviously got set point pa nga. Parang nagpatuloy yung momentum nila sa second. Ano? That's why we always say, Neil, tayong dalawa, we've covered so many of these matches. We've been lucky to do so. And we always say, you just cannot let go of a set like that kasi it can carry in the second set if you try to fight back, even if you lose that first set.
That's correct. Look at the leading scorers. It's still Eya Laure with 12, Bernadette Pons, no surprise there, with 11. Right now, for Creamline, we're looking for the numbers from the other wings. We've always mentioned that they're one of the most loaded teams in the wing spiker position, mapa left side, mapa right side. But right now, they're heavily relying on Bernadette Pons to get those attack points in for Creamline. But we're seeing better numbers also from the middles of Creamline, Pangs Panaga, and BDL, also helping out in scoring. Gemma Galanza is now back in the starting unit after getting subbed out in the previous set for the Flying Titans. We have to commend Thang Ponce. I mean, she,
as always,
had a great second set. You can avoid her on that first pass, but when it comes to defense, she will always be present in the back row. And she did a lot in terms of coverage na ibigay niya yung confidence na kailangan ni CC Rondina and Eya Laure. And if you want your outside hitters to keep on swinging with maximum power, kailangan bigyan mo sila ng kumpiyansa by saving those balls from the blocks of Creamline.
First set is underway. And there she is again, keeping it alive, keeping it playable. Chance for Choco Mucho here. CC straight into the block. Just to finish that point on Tang Ponce. The other thing that is great about this, when you see her, she's completely, let's say, an opposite of a CC Rondina na, you know, is super athletic, you know, just nuclear athleticism, as they say. And then you look at the Tang Ponce. If you don't know she's an athlete, you probably wouldn't think she's an athlete. And that's now, I'm not saying that as a negative, I'm actually using it as a positive because her athleticism is very different. Perfect for her position, Neil.
I agree. And ang magaling kay Tang Ponce talaga is yung positioning. She knows how to read the attackers from the other team. So she doesn't really need to move a lot. If she's in the right position, natatapat sa kanya sa bola, she will just pop those balls up.
Touch of the net, courtesy of Fernando Velarde. Tot says, I didn't. Panaga says, nahuli kita.
It was on Pangs Panaga.
Yung pala yun. Ako. 2-1. Oh, that's a tough. Parang aksidente ba yun or was it a play, Neil?
It was really a combination play for Gemma Galanza. Medyo dumikit lang yung set ng konti. Also another thing that Creamline has to watch out for, there are times that they run their combination play to the middle na compress sa gitna yung blockers ng Choco Mucho. So you have to get the right timing kung kailan mo gagamitin yung combination play.
Oof. That might have been going out. But CC gets the point. Rondina with 11 points. Laure with 12. 11 also, as Neil mentioned, the production of Pons, followed by Panagas 7. 2-3. Off speed by Tots. Very close to the net, so Kat ad-libs.
Bonus point for the Cool Smashers. Nobody got that first ball from Choco Mucho. They watched that ball drop.
So, there's a little bit of a tape on the thigh of Eya Laure. They were working on her during the set break earlier, and I did see her kind of extend that leg of hers earlier nung one of the chases that she made dito pa sa kabilang court. So, something to look out for if she gets hampered by that or not. 4-3.
They've been hitting non-stop, talking about Eya Laure and CC Rondina.
Hitting, receiving, moving. Yep, they've been all over. Revilla with the receive. Good reaction, coverage there by Galanza. Oh! 12 points for Bernadette Pons. Really makes volleyball look effortless. Bernadette does. Can you imagine they still have Kyle Negrito, the best setter also, still on that bench of Creamline. As Kat Tolentino with 6 points. Kat has only scored 10 points in 2 games so far.
Good reverse sets there. Kat Tolentino targeting line. That's how you crack the defense open. You give your attacker a single blocker. A lot of angles would open up for them.
How? That's a high ball, Neil, but it was well placed by Gia.
Tang Ponce couldn't get to that ball.
Mataas pa yung bola, no?
Now Gia de Guzman already has 5 points.
Yerba, nakabantay sa cross ni Eya kanina pa. Pons babying that delivery.
Going for a drop ball from the back row is a bit tricky because you have to calculate yung power or yung tulak na ibibigay mo dun sa bola. You also have to consider the block in front of you. So clearance is also another thing you have to look out for when you go for those drop balls.
Good read by CC on the combo. Kat on the dive. Great coverage. Here they go again. Coverage by Tots. Gemma on the counter. Ponce with a dig. Rondina with the explosion. Denise was there. Off the soft block. Rondina. Long rally alert. And Rondina touches the antenna with the ball.
Set was too tight for CC Rondina. Great defensive sequence. Kudos to the liberos of both squads. Denise Lazaro, Revilla, Jemnier, Batang, Ponce putting on a show.
Ponce all over the place. And then Jaya Atienza sending it long and still getting the point.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best of attacks from Choco Mucho, but somehow that ball found the floor.
6-7. Service errors are coming back here for Choco Mucho. 2-point lead for Creamline.
Creamline, 6 for Choco Mucho.
You're still watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference where the Creamline Cool Smashers lead the Choco Mucho Flying Titans by 2 right here in set number 3. And right before this match began, I picked up 2 pertinent things from the dugout of the Creamline Cool Smashers as Coach Sherwin Meneses emphasized towards them, mentioning how discipline and knowing their roles were major lapses in their opening match that they want to resolve tonight. Additionally, both he and Gia de Guzman acknowledge that these are mistakes they're pretty happy to have known, telling me that it's early in the conference and those mistakes are crucial yet handy to figuring out what level they should be bringing early on. Boom and Neil, we've been talking about the numerous personalities between both of our teams tonight. I wonder how Creamline is able to translate how well they know one another here in the All-Filipino.
That's part of the challenge and part of the challenge also for a coach like Coach Sherwin to be able to blend all that talent, all of the choices that he has as Galanza gets it through a touch. 4-point lead, biggest in the set for Creamline.
It's their turn to establish that lead. They're trying to clamp down on CC Rondina's offense. Already had a couple of kill blocks against CC Rondina in this set.
Thoughts, yep, she doesn't like that. Jen will send it to the other side to Gemma. Gets it through the block. On a run here.
Creamline is starting to pull away halfway through this set.
And that's why Coach Dante is going to call, after a 4-0 run, this quick timeout.
Sa atin yung bola, may pasa, may receive, pero nagmamadali kasi kayo sa ginagawa nyo eh. Okay? O yun lang naman ang problema natin. Okay? Simulan natin. Simulan natin yung pensa natin, ha? Pensa, ha? Okay. Hey, lagi lang kasi ng bola nadadaluhan. Day, hanggat mare. Hindi kito ka pare. Kasi dati dito tulak eh, ha?
Debbie, natawanan na! Choco Mucho!
No clear trend here, really, for both teams since the first set, which ended at 27-25. You just joined us. We welcome you to our coverage on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. Boom Gonzalez, Neil Flores, Jana Ehino. We are happy to have you with us on this Tuesday evening in this packed, this mammoth crowd at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. You know, Choco Mucho dodged a bullet there, Neil.
And Creamline has been getting a lot of defensive touches against CC Rondina. So for Dina Wong, she really has to utilize the other attackers on the floor. You still have Kat Tolentino on the opposite side. That's a good option. Pwede kang sumugal sa gitna. Or you can also try to go for a pipe from time to time para kay Eya Laure.
Deep dish receive. That's the biggest swing so far by the former three-time MVP. And it's a spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan. Look at her pull there on the left side this time.
Now Creamline is getting more numbers from Tots Carlos and Gemma Galanza, and they missed that in the first 2 sets.
Sabi mo nga. Again, the middles. 7 points here for Picaña.
It's a quiet 7 points. You won't even notice the 7 points, but ang laking tulong nun for Choco Mucho.
Lalo na, you know, 4 of those came in that second set. Talino ng galon ni Bernadette Pons. Wala na eh.
Quick swipe. Kat Tolentino knew it. The moment the ball touched the forearms of Kat, they already knew that it was going to be a point for Creamline.
13 serving 9. Short swing there by Kat. Biggest lead now at 5.
Seesaw battle between the two teams. No clear trend.
Vicar will move in. Dina Wong will have to sit down, take a look at this match from the bench. Rare mistake by Ponce, but then again, I'll say this over and over, Bangs Panaga, over the years, just such a tough server to receive.
Biggest lead now for the Cool Smashers at 6.
Even the best receivers struggle with Panaga serve. Laure, it's been a while. 13 points for Eya. Down 5.
Choco Mucho has to dig deep. They were able to catch up. Set number 1, they can do it again. Coach Dante is looking for consistency in the passing department.
Yeah. Ponce. Rondino was there. Eya adjusts. Oh, in between Gemma and De Guzman.
It's 2 out of system plays converted by Eya Laure.
As we always say, that's what you get her for. Not just for a lot of other things, but she can ad-lib. Combination dug by CC. Eya. Soft touch there off the block. That's so fast. Just before you set your feet, Bernadette Pons swinging away.
The 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference is in full swing. Watch it on the Filipinas Live app anytime, anywhere. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Creamline is now on top by 5 here in set number 3. Tots Carlos on the service deck for the Cool Smashers. Bernadette Pons is the only player in double digits for Creamline right now. That was Ian Rances. And the M-Quest artist and Samantha Bernardo supporting their good friend Eliza Valdez. Great point for Choco Mucho. Eya Laure gets it off the hands of the double block of Creamline. It is 12 serving 16. Kat Tolentino on deck to serve. Here De Guzman goes to Bernadette Pons on the combination. Ball is still alive. Scramble play from Choco Mucho. De Guzman goes back to Bernadette Pons, but Tang Ponce was there. Laure head out.
Eya Laure off the block.
Another point for Choco Mucho, and the lead is down to 3. Eya Laure is targeting the shorter blocker in Gia De Guzman to get that break point for the Flying Titans.
Laure with her best production so far in the conference. Good reaction there by Tots. Open. Ang gigil sa bola. Eya trying to do it again, off the hands of Gia, but did not get the right air for her approach there. Always enjoying watching the interaction between Laure and CC ever since their college days, obviously in season 81 when they played together. And, Eya would always say that she likes it when CC gets mad at her. and shouts at her because Coach Dante won't.
Napakabait ni Coach Dante.
So inaasahan niya si Cici. I think she's struggling a little bit though with that right thigh of hers. Even the way she's walking looks a little bit gingerly right now. But yeah, she likes the fact that Cici gets on her case. And again, we talked about how not everybody can take that from their leaders or appreciates that. But she actually enjoys it. And a spate of errors now here for Choco Mucho, giving Creamline a 5-point lead.
Connection issues there from the Flying Titans. You've seen a lot of tight sets here in set number 3. Kaya nahihirapan din yung outside hitters na gumawa ng diskarte para makapuntos for Choco Mucho.
Puro patapik-tapik na lang ano. Gemma was right there reading that play. Eya will go back to Cici. Finds a way. 12 points for Cici.
Now or never for the Flying Titans. We're approaching the 20-point mark. You're still down by 4 and you have Cici Rondina in the front row. This is the time for them to gain consecutive points.
Get some sort of a mini run if they want to. Ooh, this received there by Revilla. Well, you'll take some aces here and there. Try to create momentum.
When Choco Mucho went up against Akari, I remember that timeout where Tina Salak actually said that Jai Atienza is a heavy server, so they were anticipating the ball talaga. And now, she just took Creamline out of system once again. Chance for Choco Mucho.
Overdug there. Oh, you know she was gonna go for it, and Cici's feet were stuck in the mud. That was an opportunity, Neil.
Just a step too late for that short ball from Gemma Galanza.
Gets them to 20. Very smart by Alina Picar. 3 players who played against the Ateneo team. They're on the floor right now. Laure, Picar, Rondina, that UST team. Eya was waiting. Chance ball. Panaga selling it well, but Pecaña says, no, I will not be fooled. What about the contributions of this second-year player, Neil?
Rim Pecaña was not fooled by that play of Gia de Guzman. She did not commit to the middle blocker, and she had her eyes on Tots Carlos on that combination.
Ito na naman sila.
Si Cici, ano na mag-block eh. So, A-quick lang tayo. A-quick, 4, 3. Kung di pa sa palo, tiyaga na ulit dito kay Tots. Banks A-quick. Palo. Isa pa, Gemma, lubog na konti. Hindi na nagpa-block sa Cici. Okay? Go! Reaction ha, pag walang pasa. React ha, let's go! Creamline!
Santon Del Rosario, of our former national team players, in attendance here. As you heard the tactical timeout once again of Coach Sherwin. Making some observations. A chance here though by Choco Mucho. Gonna set it on the other side to Gemma. Good reaction by Pecaña. Back to CC. Uy, wasted opportunity here, and Tots cannot drive that ball. Vicar goes reverse. Long rally alert. Reverse 2 to Gemma. Dug by Laure. Set back. Open opportunity for Tots. And again, these long exchanges are all going the way of Creamline.
At this point, Gusto talagang pagurin ng Creamline si Rondina and Eya Laure. Coach Sherwin Meneses has already pointed out na nag-iiba na yung talon ni Rondina.
Pancake. Reverse to Kat. What a dig by Galanza. And still a converted point. What a timeout by Coach Sherwin, producing 2 straight points.
That was a difficult set to hit, but Tots Carlos was able to break the block of Choco Mucho to give them a 4-point lead here in the tail end of set number 3.
Then every time na hey, kung nakaka-rebound tayo, laging libre tayo rito. Pilitin natin kapag, bigit natin konti, libre, ha? Pwede mag-single, ha?
Babe, pagka magdadrop kayo dito, ha?
Let's go.
Choco Mucho!
You saw that replay earlier. Credit first to Gia to keep that ball alive with a pancake, but the pass cross-court by Jen Nierva from the corner and a high ball to Tots Carlos, as you mentioned, not an easy set to field, but she was still able to score. Yan yung mga classic na itaas mo lang yung bola. Bahala na kami. A little cushion here by Creamline, 22-18. Good timeout by Coach Dante.
Much needed break point. Now they're going to reverse setting to just give Rondina time to breathe and recharge.
Well, she is human after all. Sa gitna. And it crawls out. Block was there. They just could not press the ball. Liza will come back. $19 for Choco Mucho, 23 for Creamline. That's going to be out. Was there a touch? Kat says there was a touch. And Bea admits to the touch. Eliza did not see it. She's surprised. And no more challenge needed.
Creamline is just 2 points away, so they don't want, to wait anymore for that challenge video.
Tama. Good call, Neil. Sira ng momentum nila, no? Which is on their side. But it ain't over yet. Cheng on tap. Sharp serve. Pons gets it back. Targets that line. She's been scratching that line.
That zone is one of the most difficult zones to guard. Kasi dulong-dulo eh. If you position yourself halfway through that zone, ang hirap mag-backpedal, lalo na't mabilis yung mga bolang pupunta dyan.
Kyle Negrito will come in to serve and set if the ball goes back to them. Lori Bernardo is also in to try to block whatever will come their way from the Choco Mucho side. 24-20 for a 2-1 lead. A hit out by Eya.
17 points now for Eya. We already talked about this in the pregame. We're waiting for that 20-point game from Eya Laure. Mukhang dito niya na makukuha yung first 20-point game niya in the season.
Patience now, patience. She will get there, and the team will get there. That's what she's been saying and preaching. Timeout, Creamline.
Ito yung sabi ko, power tayo. Kung pa-power tayo, hindi tayo magka-drop ball. Maganda yung set na yan, so walang drop ball na yan. First, bilang, tapos kahit kanino. Frontline naman si, patalunin niyo si Gia. Isip ang resiba.
Go, girls! Go, girls! Hey, on, Creamline!
Sherwin wanting to secure this set point here.
That timeout was straightforward.
Mga technical yung mga timeouts natin din today.
Ayaw lang niya ng drop ball.
Yeah.
He wants to see the power and the hits of Creamline. Dahil isa na lang.
And they didn't even have to because Kat froze because of the timeout. And Creamline is a set away as they continue to try to dominate still this Choco Mucho Flying Titan team in this matchup of theirs. Back inside the SM Mall of Asia Arena. And the Choco Mucho Flying Titans will have to play off the back foot in this matchup of theirs. A sibling rivalry, which has been dominated by Creamline. Of course, they welcome back CC Rodina into the fold and welcome Eya Laure into this matchup. Set 3, hindi nagpaiwan ng Creamline sa simula. And they dictated from the very start and were able to stave off any kind of rally deal.
Yeah, they were able to minimize the production of CC Rondina. That was obvious in set number 3. And they were able to put up the best numbers in attacking in set number 3. 15 attack points for Creamline. As we mentioned earlier, dyan sila nabitin in set number 1 and 2. Although they won set number 1 to their blocking system. But this is the system, the offensive system of Creamline that we're used to seeing. 15 attack points, that is a good number. A lot of attack points from Gemma Galanza and Tots Carlos.
Yes.
So they were able to give Bernadette Pons the support that she needed. Creamline also had one more kill block compared to Choco Mucho. But Choco Mucho had one more service ace compared to the Cool Smashers.
Galanza and Tots Carlos both had 5 points in that set. So that's what you were looking for in set number 2. That was lacking from them. They made the adjustment. Not just Bernadette Pons scoring. Bernadette Pons was still able to score 4 points in that set. Laure and CC slowed down a little bit, although Laure kind of recovered also towards the middle of that set. 17 points for her. 22 is her output in 2 games. So this is the Laure that we know. And I guess she is also getting comfortable with Coach Dante, with the teammates. It's not as easy as just plug and play, as these players would always say. They expect, of course, the fans sometimes expect great things because they are great players, including players who are coming back into a system, but it's easier said than done. And Neil made a great point in the pre-game where you said 3 years is 3 years. 2 years is 2 years to be out of a league and in a competitive league where talent level rises every year.
There are a few changes to the starting unit of Choco Mucho. Dindin Santiago Manabat will start this set alongside Alina Bicar.
Gemma there closing the door. Oh, she says it was a perfect block. Yes, it was, Gemma. Yes, it was.
15 excellent sets so far for Gia de Guzman. Out of system play this time for Choco Mucho.
Ponce sends it back to Dindin. And another denial.
Back-to-back kill blocks for Gemma Galanza. Din Santiago Manabad tried to go line kasi nakasiksik na rin si Pangs Panaga for the angle.
You know, all these, we're talking about how some players have lost a step a little bit because of some of them are age. In the case of Dindin, it's more the injuries that have hampered her all the years, mostly in her lower leg. CC with a block breaker there. See, Dindin, we've seen her in her explosive days, obviously. Oh. Carlos starting to rack it up. 7 points for her.
2 players in double digits for the Cool Smashers. Gemma Galanza with 10, Bernadette Pons with 15. 2 players also in double digits for Choco Mucho. That's the tandem of Laure and Rondina.
Creamline looking for their first win of the All-Filipino Conference. Yung depensa rin, Neil, ng Creamline, ano? Parang they have completely adjusted really here, and we've seen them cover all sides of this court. Nakabantay eh. So far, they look like there's 7 players there on the court right now. Another chance. It's going to bounce out, so another quick start here by the Creamline Cool Smashers. I think Coach Dante will call the timeout right away, early on.
Nangyayari kasi, tapos malalayo ang set. Pilitin mo para tapos maka-rebound, maka-reset tayo ng cycle tayo ng play. Okay? Lahat ng pasa natin, nandito na ngayon. Okay? Ito na yung time para tsagain nyo ng tsagain, ha? Hanggat pare, sadyain mo. Mas malaki ang chance natin para dito, ha? Go.
Balik tayo! Let's go! Choco Mucho!
I wish we could see the whiteboard of Coach Dante. I am very curious kung
kahit
sino ba yung tinuturo niya dun sa play na yon.
Kahit si Coach Sherwin, di ba? Because they know that obviously we're eavesdropping and the whole nation is eavesdropping. They, you know, in the way they talk, itinatago na lang nila. They have their own lingo, obviously, so that they don't give away their tactics. Not necessarily for the game at hand, but more for, obviously, future games of teams who are watching.
Much needed break point for Choco Mucho.
Drops in. Good timeout. Actually down to 3. Revilla receiving. See the movement. It's right in front of us, Neil, the way they move going into their attack zones.
Only a single blocker up against Bernadette Pons.
Kasi nabenta ni Tots yung dito sa gitna. And then Pangs Panaga pa. Lovely watching these little nuances of the game, ano?
This has been the weakness of Choco Mucho in this game when they misreceive that ball. Maabante lalo yung Creamline.
Point again to the serving of Pangs Panaga. Dead on arrival yung bola na yun. Laure gets it through.
18 points officially for Eya Laure.
Gemma was there, but the ball was just too fast. That's wide. Santiago Manabat in her head as Creamline with a 5-point lead.
First technical timeout, 8 for Creamline, 3 for Choco Mucho.
You're still tuned in to the PVL All-Filipino Conference. It's set 4 between the rivalry match of the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, where the Cool Smashers are leading by 5 big points. And while Creamline is needing just a set left to possibly wrap this up, it's on Choco Mucho to strengthen their resolve. The Cool Smashers have made their adjustments in the previous set, like what was mentioned, Boom and Neil. Choco Mucho is also figuring out theirs here in this set. At the huddle just a while ago, Coach Dante asked for better defense from the Flying Titans, highlighting the need for coverage on their end. Besides that, extra trust was placed on one of the new members of the team, Alina Bicar, to take control of the match moving forward. Speaking of, Tia Anday has joined in the match for the first time. Still quite some room to challenge that Creamline lead, but it's going to be a test for the Flying Titans.
7th overall draft pick, Tia Andaya. The aforementioned Tia Andaya is in. And also, Kate Mirai, the comebacking Flying Titan, to try to change things up here. What are Coach Dante looking for with these players, Saman Neil?
Choco Mucho is down by 4 right now. I think Coach Dante is just looking for quality minutes from his bench to change the tide of this game. Clearly, momentum is with Creamline. But now, Tia Andaya has 3 attackers in the front row at her full disposal. The confusion between Eya Laure and Andaya will give Creamline their 9th point of the set.
And as I said, it looks like Eya Laure was already hampered a little bit earlier on. Let's look at this again, Neil. Ponce carrying out Eya Laure to the court. Eya Laure, as I said, was already looked like she was hindered by that right thigh of hers, and then that little dive. Let's hope she's okay. Especially these little lower leg issues. Choco Mucho's gotta focus.
That is going to be a point for Jaya Atienza. Set was low, but she was able to push that ball across.
Jaya still not able to move from her position. That is not a good sight to see. They're looking for the wheelchair from our medical staff so that she doesn't have to walk. Now, let's not also speculate on what it is. These are precautions. Sometimes the bus stretchers and wheelchairs are more for, to immobilize, but Eya obviously wincing in pain there. She doesn't want to go on a wheelchair. So she's going to be carried out. Unfortunately here, off the court at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Let's say a little prayer for Eya Laure, regardless of who you are rooting for. We don't want players in general to be injured. And this is going to be a tough part for Choco Mucho, Neil. There's this human side of it all. You're down 6. There's a little bit of a distraction on the sideline from a player who has been waiting to come back to the PVL.
When you're also looking at the serving pattern of Creamline, they've been targeting CC Rondina, so they've disrupted the flow of the offense of the Flying Titans
by just continuously pounding her with serves. Ooh, very tight. Ponce was there. CC able to get to it. She comes back. And that is just the smartest play there for Gia de Guzman. And now, Choco Mucho under the gun. 7-point deficit. Look at the chase, the effort by Rondina. She gets back into play, but she's also holding on to her arm, trying to shake it off. It has been a grueling second half to this matchup since that second set. It's basically exclusively going to Rondina now on the serve.
Receiving has been off for Choco Mucho. That's like 3 straight attack points for the setter of Creamline. Gia de Guzman already has 8 under her belt.
Hard to concentrate, Neil. It's an 8-point deficit. CC will continue to fight, you know that. But the other players from Choco Mucho have to contribute here, especially if CC is going to do all the work.
Choco Mucho is now in their 2-hitter rotation, so more balls will be going to the left side unless they utilize the back row.
Which they did there. Speaking of, Bernadette Pons from behind. It's the pipe attack to go. 14-6. There's the collective breath and collective energy, Neil, that was kind of sucked out of this exhilarating venue earlier. Rondina gets it through the hit out.
That's the only thing they could do. Dahil pag nabibitin yung pasa from CC Rondina, best option pa rin would be to go to that left pin. So she has to find a way to work around the blocking system of Creamline. That hit out is an example of a way to get a point. So they're down by 7.
And now it's Creamline going through the motions of their hitting and getting everybody involved.
Creamline is in full control.
Yeah.
You can feel it, you can see it.
And you know, the distraction can be both ways. Huh? The other team can also be distracted with everything that's going on. So they're trying to stay focused. And it's not being insensitive to a fallen opponent. It's just that they have business to take care of still here. CC from behind. The set to Tots. Dug by Ponce. Cheng. Pancake by Nierva. The angle by Pons, but not that time.
Another beach volleyball move.
Yeah.
From Bernadette Pons, but that one goes out.
Can't take the player out of the sand. You can't take the sand out of the player. There will be those tendencies. Trick plays. (16-8). Creamline doubling up on their rival. The crowd has ballooned to 12,000, almost 12,600 here as we welcome some other fans of the PVL coming over to the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Jana Ejido is right in the middle of this packed crowd with an update. Jana, go ahead.
Just an update for everyone about Eya Laure a while ago. Eya still being further assessed by the lead doctor and the physical therapist in the dugout. She is currently experiencing some pain and is being treated as of the moment, but she has expressed that she wants to be back on court playing, but there's no certainty yet. Let's only hope for her speedy recovery moving forward.
Yeah, that's what we can do. Thank you very much, Jana. The update on Eya Laure, who fell earlier. Eight for Choco Mucho, 16 for Creamline. Pons. Rodina with a smile on that dig. And Biray could not get it over the net.
Well, she's in the back row, so that was a set for a back row attack. Fifi Sharma and Jared Schnacky also enjoying the game.
$17-8, make that 17-9. You know, partly enjoying, partly scouting.
Pwede.
2-in-1.
Bernadette points with another kill for Creamline, now at 18.
Just joined us and you're wondering why Eya Laure is not on the floor and not on the bench. She had a little bit of an issue in the third set. Got her thigh taped, came back, looked already like she was hampered by it. And then an unfortunate fall. Should I even say a collision? It wasn't really much. There was a little bit of a collision between her and Eya, but not really a crash, but maybe aggravating that injury. So again, this is all speculative. The report by Jana is that they're still assessing her leg issue. She wants to return, but most likely will not here in this game as they are down by 9. And Creamline 6 points away from their first win on the All-Filipino Conference.
Bernadette Pons is just all over the place. She's very active on the floor in transition. You would hear her from the sidelines asking for what kind of set she wants at that certain point in time from Gia de Guzman. Bonus point for Choco Mucho of the error of Bernadette Pons.
Atienza serves short. Nobody home. It's become a little bit of a hitting practice now for Creamline, getting their machine rolling here in this fourth set. 5 points away.
Another free point for Choco Mucho off the service error.
Right.
Double sub will check in. Dindin Santiago Manabat and Alina Bicar will replace Caitlin Viray and Tia Andaya.
8-point deficit. Good up there by Bicar. Rondina will continue to swing. Jump set. Bicar underhands this one. And Gia will go for the second ball. Push is denied. CC waiting on the other side. And so was Stotts down the line. Ponce receiving the brunt of that swing. Revilla putting it up. Galanza unleashing. Back to CC. who goes behind the blockers, but Carlos saw that coming. And a rare opportunity for Choco Mucho winning a long rally. Long rallies have belonged to Creamline here in this match.
One of the rare errors from Bernadette Pons. But you have to commend the defense system of Creamline.
That really has, what at least my eyes, really changed for Creamline in the third set. And then you mentioned the strategy of talagang pinagod nila si Eya at si Cici.
If you check the combined production of the medals, nasa 20 points na rin for the Cool Smasher. So that is a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
The back row defenders are also having an easier time marking Cici Rondina kasi nahahawakan din ng blocker sa harapan. So bumabagal yung bola.
On those soft blocks. That's gonna go out. 22-13.
Nothing's working right now for Choco Mucho.
Yeah, I think there is a resigned look. We also did not see Dina Wong come back into this game, and also that's another question of whether it's a physical issue too, or Coach Dante just really changing it up with Bicar and Tia Andaya. And Creamline is 2 points away from a victory here at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Christina Wong and a timeout by Coach Dante.
Hinga. Unahin natin sa pasa para yung spacing natin maka-open sa yung mga middle natin. Okay, pasado na lang tayo bugbog na yung dalawang wing natin. Okay, pilitin natin maka-open sa yung middle, ha? So, let's go.
Again, for those who did not see what happened in the middle of the third set, Neil, this is that instance where Eya, well, by the way, has 19 points. So we saw that already she was, di ba, parang hampered by a little pain. We've been observing that. And parang iniisip na niya. Umiba yung galaw niya after. She really slowed down.
May na-hyperextend na part of her leg or something.
Actually, from what I saw, it wasn't in that sequence. From what I saw, it was towards the end of the second set when they were still on this part at may hinabol siyang bola, Neil. And after that, hawak-hawak na niya yung thigh niya. Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. The one that we saw, we're just seeing parang ano na lang, parang reaction na lang kasi nakabalot na yung thigh niya after that. And then of course the collision. And by the way, for the record, she wanted to come back into the game. That's what she was saying in the locker room. She was actually asking the doctors, and Jana Ejido also reported on that one.
3 players are now in double digits for the Cool Smashers. Gia de Guzman showed us a master class in distribution. She was able to utilize the middles in this game.
Yep.
Now they're 1 point away from getting their first win of the conference.
Yeah, so if Eya Laure got her best game as a flying titan, Gia de Guzman also here in the second game seemed like, okay, I'm back. I'm back in control. And that offense is humming for Creamline. And it will end with a massive swing from Tots Carlos, who completely also really came alive in sets 3 and 4. 11 points for her, 5 in set 3, 4 here in set 4. And Creamline will take their first win of the conference, 25-15 here in the fourth set. And when you look at the numbers across the board for the Cool Smashers, you know that Gia de Guzman has really masterfully executed their offense. But Sherwin is on the board when it comes to the wins. We'll take a break and we will be back to wrap this baby up. Back inside the SM Mall of Asia Arena in front of a 12,600 here. Bayside and the Creamline Cool Smashers with a 4-set win against the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Jana Ejido is with our player of the game.
That's right, Boom. I'm here with Bernadette Fons of the Creamline Cool Smashers. And her team just got their first win of the conference off 19 points, 18 excellent receptions, and 13 excellent digs. Bernadette triple-double tonight after a straight set loss last week against PLDT. Bumawi ang Creamline today. Tell me, ano yung naging adjustments ng team tonight?
Unang-una, coming into this game, yung mindset lang talaga ng bawat isa is mag-enjoy. Enjoy namin ulit yung paglalaro ng volleyball. So yun lang, and sumunod lang kami sa sistema ni Coach. Kung ano yung mga ininsayo namin, in-apply lang namin. And yun, sobrang in-enjoy namin yung buong game.
Now besides you, naging all-around performance din ng buong teammates mo, of all your Creamline teammates. How do you think the team performed today?
Siyempre, sobrang proud ako sa bawat isa sa amin kasi lahat talaga, grabe yung hustle, grabe yung effort, and sobrang nag-enjoy lang din talaga lahat. So, sobrang proud ako sa team.
And of course, Bernadette, what a crowd today on a Tuesday. Over 11,000 in attendance. Ano yung pakiramdam na makapaglaro ulit sa crowd na ganito?
Yes, sobrang saya kasi ilang buwan din na bago ulit makapaglaro ng ganito na sobrang daming crowd. So sobrang thank you po sa lahat ng mga nandito, pumunta at nanood. And makita-kita po tayo sa iba pang mga games.
And of course, any family, friends, messages you'd like to give, now's the time.
Yes, of course, binabati ko yung family ko, mama, papa, sa kapatid ko na nanonood ngayon. Hi po sa inyo. And syempre sa lahat po ng Creamline Management, Sir Joe, Sir Alan, Ma'am Lizan, Ma'am Lily, thank you po sa lahat ng support, and sa kay Mr. and Mrs. Nang. Thank you po.
All right, congratulations once again, Bernadette Pons. A triple-double to get Creamline on the board tonight, Bumanil.
Yeah, over 12,600 here at the SM Mall of Asia who are still here, just getting their moment with several players. Pons leading 4 players in double figures for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Great scenes here, by the way, while we look at the numbers on your screens. What stands out for you, Neil Flores?
Creamline outscored Choco Mucho in all skill set departments. Nahuli lang sila in attacking, but in set number 3 and set number 4, they stepped on the gas. They were able to build a solid lead against their sister team.
Yep.
And now they're on the board. That's their first win, and everybody is just trying to get the right flow in the start of this conference. Maaga pa. We have so much more volleyball to be played, and nothing is set in stone pa. But, you know, it was a great game between these two teams.
Choco Mucho will fall to 1 and 2. We again say a prayer for Eya Laure. Hopefully she will be okay for the games coming up. But on Thursday, we go back to San Juan. PLDT high-speed hitters who looked really, really sharp in their previous matchup against the Creamline Cool Smashers. They go up against the Solar Spikers of Capital One. And then in the second game, Zeus Thunderbells, who fell to galleries the last time out, will go up against a very dangerous Akari Chargers team in the second game of our Thursday doubleheader. Thank you very much for watching us today. Signal winning over the Farm Fresh Foxies in 4 sets, and Creamline doing the same over Choco Mucho in the second game of our Tuesday doubleheader in front of 12,600 here at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. For Jana Ejido, Neil Flores, I'm Boom Gonzalez. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday for more of the Heart of Volleyball. This is your Premier Volleyball League.